afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful host, very, very grateful host. And in studio with me, my main man, Jamie Angel.
It's gonna be a hot one today.
Oh, guys, get in the freezer. We got some stuff for you. All right, we are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Beal and Abear, your hometown lawyers. Give those guys a call, man. Good folks, do a lot for our community, man. Just really, really good people. And good lawyers, which helps, by the way. All right, we're going to bring some truth today. Now, again, y'all know me by now. We have a good bond here, our audience and I and Jamie. I kept my mouth shut for a year and a half. And I was going to keep my mouth shut because I just felt that genuinely, I felt that look, I love this community. I still do. And I know all those lies were lies. This man knows all those lies that were said about me and my wife and my family, business, all those things. We know they were lies, and most people did, or most people that knew. They all knew. But I just kept my mouth shut. I felt it was better to seek peace and pursue it. But now, after hearing so many blatant lies, like blatant lies, I got to bring truth. And look, we're just going to bring facts. I'll give you my opinion, and Jamie can give you his. We just want to bring some facts. But the mayor president, Monique Blanco Boulay, is lying constantly to the public. Constantly. And I don't know if her CAO knows what the heck she's doing or she's lying too, but either one is not good. And then remember that CFO, that's your chief financial officer that we're paying $206,000. This ain't my message. This is her message. Page 49 of her budget message in the mayor president's proposed budget. The total increase of $51.6 million is largely due to, that's a bunch of fluff, largely due to, here's the political hit, transition from use of one-time ARPA dollars back to normalized funding levels and funding sources. Let me translate. Hey, that guy before us, he's the evil one that was wasting money. He had one-time federal dollars, and look, he was using it to fund the government. That's the only reason why he was able to balance the budget, build all those roads. Man, that $86 million or $83 million, that was some magic money, man. We got that in 2022, and according to Monique, we were able to float every budget. So, man, how the hell did we do all those roads and all those infrastructure? I thought she said we only did those because of federal dollars. Which one is it, Monique? Did we float the budget with ARPA, or did we spend all of it on projects, which we did do it on projects, one-time projects? You see, I don't need to be preached to. I do not need to be preached to any person in elected office that runs $100 million in recurring expenses than I had in less than 2 years and has nothing to show for it, that deficit spends. Like, she's a liar.
You know what I'm concerned about?
Yeah.
Is that she had a budget last year, right?
Oh, she did. And that was $52 million more than we had the year before. What'd she spend it on?
This wasn't her first budget.
Second.
My concern is that it took them 2 years to figure all this out, whatever they figured out.
You think they figured it out?
It took them 2 years to figure out whatever they figured out, which is craziness. Yeah. But why didn't you say anything last year? Why was it?
Yeah.
Did you not look at the budget last year?
Let's break down something. All right. So earlier this morning on Lafayette Live here on KPEL 96.5 FM, Bro Bridge, Lafayette. You like that, Jamie? I gave the whole thing in there, baby. Whole thing. So earlier, Lafayette Live each Thursday, someone from the administration of Monique comes on, and she's been coming on every once in a while. So she was on today. I like to come in person, get questions from the folks. She don't take questions. She should. She should. I love, that was my favorite part. Even when people called and maybe had some disagreements with me. You were there. Mm-hmm. We welcome it. All right. So we're going to play some clips from you, and we'll just highlight truth. We'll highlight lies, and we'll highlight truth. I think that's fair. And here's what I got to remind myself. If this was any other elected official, especially a Republican, acting like this, I would be bringing truth. So I'm going to stay true to myself and just bring truth. All right, go ahead.
I think we've been very open to begin with. And, we're getting ready to go through a series of council hearings where.
So that's the CAO. And right now she's just kind of giving an overview of budget. All of this is fluff right now. You'll hear a bunch of other words that don't really mean anything, just kind of filling up air. Not knocking on her. That's just the reality. When you don't know what you're about to say, you kind of just
catchphrases.
Yeah, just kind of blah blah blah. Now, one thing that we should have been talking about, Monique Blanco Boule has some kind of like is the word affinity, like just obsession with Bloomberg, like Bloomberg. You know, before she got into being mayor president, she went to mayor school. I'm not making it up. She went to mayor school with Bloomberg in New York, the biggest liberal Democrat that you can find.
You know who goes to that? Liberals.
What? She was the only Republican. I think there's two Republicans.
For real?
Yes. They wanted me to go to all that crap. I wasn't spending the money. I wasn't getting preached to by some left-wing ideologue that knows nothing about Lafayette, Louisiana.
So wait, she been to New York twice for this Bloomberg thing.
And not to mention her staff. So what I'm saying is her staff, like this CAO, she just rattling off Bloomberg talking points. Blah, 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 blah. The budget needs to reflect the values of the community. What does that mean? Anyway, next.
The public is definitely invited to engage in this process.
You
Because
should.
At the end of the day, what we're hoping, Joe, is to have a budget that is reflective of the community.
Yay!
It sounds like a government that's as good as its people.
Yes, just like a campaign. Wonderful. We're going to get hey, let's stop right there. Guys, that's not a lie. She believes that. That's just not in touch with reality. Guys, they have $100 million more than we had.
200 almost.
Almost 200. Well, if you
year to
add
year.
up, year to year, almost 200 million more than we had. At minimum, 150, because 52 and 100. Like, that does not, like, the way you've been wasting money, Monique, does not replicate the values of our community. It does not represent the greatness of this wonderful, wonderful parish that we live in. Wonderful people that work their butts off to budget their budget. You know, they can't. Oh my, we'll get to that. They can't roll up millages they can't raise taxes like you did, Monique. Hey, did y'all hear that? Did any of the news outlets bring that up? No one reported on that last year? Okay, yeah. Well, she raised our taxes like a Democrat would, like we said she would.
I reported on it.
You did in the morning, yes.
I did. I had the con man here himself.
Oh my gosh, that dude. So, yeah, all right. But this is my opinion. I think you share in it. That statement, I disagree with 100%. Our people deserve fiscal responsibility. Our people deserve a government that goes and cleans ditches and culverts and not neglect them like Monique Blanco Boule has. All that flash flooding you're seeing is conveyance. That is moving water, Monique. All right? Get out there and give it a try. It works. It's not sexy. It doesn't give you points with Bloomberg. It doesn't give you points with the DNC. But we had a lot of funding projects that were drainage and roads in the north side. At least go do those. I mean, that's where you made transportation available. I don't know how to say it.
There is no E.
I know, man. Keep going.
Uh-oh. Oh, I'm using the wrong mouse. Here we go.
And, we put a lot of thought process into this. And one of the things, aside from, basic infrastructure, right? We invested a lot in roads, drainage, bridges.
Where?
You have $150 million between 2 years. You have $100 million this year. Even the current, who was just gritting their teeth having to report that, even the current, after we called them out for their lies, even the current, a left-wing blog that is in her back pocket and LCG's in their front pocket. Like, even they reported you were deficit spending. Even they had to acknowledge that you brought in more recurring expenses than you had new revenue coming in. We gave you a thriving economy. We gave you an economy that had the lowest unemployment in the state of Louisiana when we left office. We gave you an economy that was roaring. You did not need to raise taxes, Monique. You have a great tax base that is raising your revenue organically because we gave capitalism a try. All right, guys, and got government the hell out the way, that's for sure. I know how to add, and I damn sure know how to subtract. All right, guys, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios right here in Acadiana. Beal and Abear, your hometown lawyers. Man, go give those guys a call if you have any questions on the law. I'm telling you, they got integrity. They'll tell you what they can't do, but they know what they can do. And that's a very important attribute of attorneys and really any leaders. Know what you're good at. Know what you're not good at. A lot of folks don't know what we're not good at.
I know who's not good at the budget.
Well, that's apparent. All right, let's continue. So, Lafayette Mayor President Monique Blanco-Boulay was in the KPEL studios on Lafayette Live, and she and her CAO were going over a few things. So, we're just going to play the clip, and then they were blatantly lying, so we're just going to continue to call out truth. Go ahead.
The theme of this year was looking at our operations and looking at how do we create more efficiencies within our budget.
Pause.
And so,
do you think she really, like when she said that, this is the CAO, do you think she believed that?
We're not adding 36 positions. That's not very efficient.
And a part-time employee at $93,000, you think that's efficient? You think spending $100 million this budget cycle that you can't even really show anything, you think that is efficient?
I mean, they said in that write-up in the current that it left very little for one-time projects. So.
But here's the thing. They're Democrats, and they don't know what now, to all my friends that are listening that are Democrat, I'm not talking about you. I'm really not. There's a difference. There are different types, just like different types of Republicans. But I'm talking about rhinos that are really Democrats in office, okay? They're not. Look, a zebra doesn't shed its stripes. A zebra doesn't shed its stripes. And look at the actions. Wasteful spending, wanted to raise taxes, wanted to put gun control downtown. Remember that one? Like, these are all things you'd expect a Democrat to do. I mean, just tell the folks you're a Democrat. Don't run as a Republican.
Or just say you like to spend money. You bougie.
And wasteful. But don't go tell the folks in Brown Park and the North Side that you love them. No, you love their vote. You don't love black people. You love the vote. You like the black vote, Monique Blanco-Boulay, but you don't like black people. Period. Your actions show that. We invested $200 million in city districts 1 and 2 over 4 years. That's a lot.
1 and 3.
1 and 5.
1 and 5. That's what I meant.
We totally butchered that. 1 and 5. All right. $200 million. Some of those projects were not complete, but they were budgeted, funded. They wouldn't be in the budget if they're not. Funded, designed, ready to roll. And we got as many of them started as we could. But we couldn't get to all of them. We would have, and they would have been done by now. But what does Monique go in there and do? Cuts drainage projects in the north side. Cuts roads. Or doesn't do them. Y'all see any roads being paved out there? You did a year and a half ago. Very much so. Very much so. But then there's the most egregious example of all. Brown Park. So Monique is bragging about this new Taj Mahal, and she calls it a city hall. That building is City Parish Hall. That building services the parish and the city. It services the people of the parish, which is everybody in the parish, and the city of Lafayette. But she doesn't care about the parish. She didn't win with the parish. She don't care about the parish. She cares about the north side votes and the elites, period. That's all she cares about. That's obvious.
Bendale, the St. Streets. Y'all go see some improvements. That's about it.
They were seeing improvements in our administration. I mean, cities, districts 1 and 5 were not huge Guillory supporters, to say the least. They all voted against me, but that's what our city needed.
How's Milton doing?
It was doing good. There's a bunch of grass growing everywhere. It looks like crap out there.
I wonder what she's doing for them. Because, that was a big deal during the campaign.
No, this is what she's doing for Milton. She's taking credit for all the things we've done, and anything that she's not doing good, like cutting grass, she say, "Oh, it's probably
Guillory's fault.
ARPA funds."
All right.
But now it's CARES. We're going to go into that. Keep going.
At the beginning of the year, you saw a couple of departmental reorganizations between park and community development and planning. And we still have one more, that we're looking through and looking to reorganize and create efficiencies there as well.
Oh, yeah, create
we're
efficiencies.
looking at the end of the day how we can get the best public services and service delivery for our community. And I think that's what's reflected in the budget is our ability to be able to deliver the services that we're being required to and requested.
Delivering services. That's another thing. I'm glad you said that, Madam CAO. Where's the mayor president? Can she talk? Oh, she's about to talk. All right. So, anybody live in Lafayette and try to call City Parish Hall? Anybody? Anybody waiting on services? They're horrible about calling people back. We had a 24-hour rule and enforced it up and down the chain of command. That's not the same. They're going back to the tail wags the dog. They go to service related calls that are based on no science. It's going back to the old way. And she ran on that. She said we need to go. We need to get back to the way we used to do things. She said that. When a Democrat tells you what they're wanting to do, listen, because they will tell you, and then they'll do it, and they won't care. They're banking on the Current and the Advocate and any other local media that bites on the apple of the Current. I don't know why they're leading all the way. Anyway. All right, keep going, sir.
At the beginning of the year, you saw a couple of departmental reorganizations between park and community development to reorganize and create efficiencies there as well as in service delivery for our community. And I think that's what's reflected in the budget is overall is our ability to be able to deliver the services that we're being required to and requested of by the community.
Now, Mayor President Monique Boulay, several weeks back when you were talking with us, you had mentioned that when you kind of first saw the numbers, there looked like at first there was a bit of a deficit, and you had kind of said or implied at the time that it was based on some stuff from the previous administration.
Right. All right, Joe's about to ask her a pretty fair question. All right. Should I break it? Yeah. I'll just say this. ARPA is the American Rescue Plans Act. CARES, I don't remember what it stands for, but CARES is a different act. 2 different federal funding sources. All right, I'm just going to say that. For all these years since the campaign, Monique on several occasions, including in our budget messages that are, or at least our CFOs, is public record. I'm about to read you what she wrote. I didn't write that. I wouldn't write that. But their biggest argument was, Guillory's ARPA funds. ARPA funds were the ones that were carrying his budget. Nope. That's the only, I know. It's a separate budget. The ARPA funds went into 2 different funds. I know the ladies down the street have no clue what they're talking about, or if they do, they're blatantly lying, which you pick. Either one's bad. Fund 650, Fund 651 of the Lafayette Consolidated Government Budget. Just follow the money. It was never used on recurring expenses. So we've called out that lie. That lie has been exposed, and the Blanco Mafia knows that. So what do they do now? Well, they can't call it ARPA anymore.
But wait, if it was used on one-time expenses, that's because a budget amendment was done by the councils,
that's
not
true.
Through your office.
Well, we did one-time expenses. We did one-time capital projects.
No, I mean recurring expense. I'm sorry. If any recurring expenses were budgeted through ARPA, that was through a budget amendment. That was not.
And I don't recall that, but maybe
could have been after.
Yeah, maybe there was one. No, there was one position in the parish that funded it. Yeah, but that was a 2-year deal.
And they also gave money to some nonprofits.
Yeah, that's legislative. It doesn't matter. All that matter is that's not the point. We can argue substance all we want. The point here is we have a mayor president that has no problem with lying to you. No problem with lying to you. Play the clip and then we'll take a break. All right, this is what she said.
Can you kind of go into that in a little bit more detail?
There were some raises given in 2023 with one-time funds, with CARES Act funds. And so CARES Act, like ARPA, came after COVID.
Yeah.
And there was an account, and it had a couple of $1 million. And so
specifically the Police and Fire Resiliency Fund, which
that fund doesn't exist. Specifically, that fund doesn't exist. Keep going.
And so that's what it is. I mean, it was just a decision made in 23 that was with one-time funds.
Yeah. And so I guess the
All right, let's take a tiny little break. I'm going to get my act together. All right, it's hard. What do you do when you hear that much blatant lies coming out of someone's teeth with no regard, like complete arrogance, like no one's going to go look at a public record and dispute this stuff. When we get back, we'll tell them all about CARES Act and about the SARF fund. welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We see you, Mr. Bobby. We're going to open up the phone lines in just a little bit. I know I'm breaking protocol. I just want to kind of get through a little bit, just a little bit more. Go ahead, Jamie. Oh, by the way, we're bringing up, I'm sorry if you're just tuning in. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the Beal and Bear Studios. That's your hometown lawyers. If you're in the hometown, give them a call. They service all of Acadiana. Good guys and gals over there. All right, so Lafayette Mayor President, Democrat, Republican, Monique Blanco Boulay was on Lafayette Live this morning here in KPEL, and she had several instances where she had trouble with the truth, and her CAO, the same thing, but I think her CAO just doesn't know, and please, like, people are going to take that like, oh my God, Guillory just criticized and called her a name. That's much better than lying. I'd much rather her be making mistakes than lying. I think she believes what she says. She's just patently wrong.
Paid enough to not make.
I guess, man. I don't know. But when you bring someone with no experience in, I'm just saying. All right, go ahead.
Question I would have is this. I think this. You're now a couple budgets in. This wasn't something that you guys kind of saw coming, like in a previous budget. Hey, maybe we need to start looking at it now. Or
okay, to refresh your memory, Joe's asking her, hey, you said a couple weeks ago, basically the Guillory administration was using ARPA funds. That's what you said, Monique. Monique, you said that we were using ARPA funds to float recurring expenses. You said all the liberal Democrat buzzwords to confuse everyone, but that's essentially what it means, okay? And you kept that line. That was the lie you ran in the campaign. That's the lie you ran your first budget through, $52 million more than I had, by the way. Hey, by the way, Monique, if we were using one-time funds, by the way, from 2021 or 2022, like really?
For extra stuff, not for any, for like additional things.
But watch this. Yeah, exactly. That's why I had two funds. But anyway, if you are correct, let's just say you were right. You're not, clearly, because we can look at the budget. It's public record. I told you the funds to look at. But even if you're right, why didn't you spend the $52 million more you had than what we had just the previous year? Why didn't you do that? Or if you were so concerned, why didn't you do what we did? See, we actually did inherit a deficit, all right? And I'm not blaming anybody. There's a lot of political games played right before I got in office. Took it on the chin, said, hey, let's go. We're going to make this happen. Don't want to talk about pay raises. We're going to make it happen. And we did. But we had to make serious cuts. I didn't wait for the budget to come. I didn't wait for my second budget for sure. By the second budget, we were blowing and going. Go look at that. Go look at those budgets. But no, we did an immediate budget amendment to address the shortfalls. That's what this mayor president should have done if there was a deficit, and there wasn't. The only deficit Monique's looking at right now is the deficit she ran last year. We're on her budget. Why are we talking about the Guillory administration? Oh, she's a Democrat. That's why. And then this budget, your deficit spending in the parish. Hey, parish council members, especially those that were there with us, do you remember when the parish general fund was forecasted to be $50,000 at the end of our first fiscal year? Do you remember that? Because I do. Do you remember how hard we worked with the municipalities to partner with things like parks, like in Scott and Youngsville, Broussard, and other areas? Do you not remember how hard it was to get that fund balance up and steady? That took a lot of teamwork. Parish council members, you are deficit spending if you approve this budget. And this is why I want to say all this early. We still have hope. I mean, I think most of those council members identify as Republicans, so they should be fiscally responsible. I'm just telling you what they identify as.
Look, it's easy. You don't have to take our word for it. Just go to LafayetteLA.gov/budget, pull out the budget, the proposed budget, and go look at Fund 650 and 651. They're still in. They should still be in there.
Yeah, well, if they haven't spent, they said that it's still there, so it should be there.
You'll see all the line items in there. If those projects are still open, you'll see all the line items in there, how much funds are left over, yada, yada, yada. Go try to see if you find those projects in other parts of the budget. You won't.
That's right.
So you can't fill a hole with something you didn't have in the first place.
And here's another thing why Monique is so wrong on saying ARPA. ARPA was very restrictive in what you could use it on. We had to go through, rightfully so, we brought in good lawyers and all the folks that needed to regulators and all that to make sure it's done right. We were proactive and
it was a prime focus of my position.
Exactly. And you did well. Talking about, we were dozing before Doge was a thing. All right, keep going.
Well, you don't budget. We had the money to pay for
Uh-huh.
it with the grant. So you're not going to
Pause.
budget it.
She's talking about what she calls pay raises, okay? She's saying the Guillory administration used one-time funds to pay for recurring expenses that recur every year. Please follow me on this one because this is a good one. And the only example she comes up with,
Sorry.
and it's okay. The only example she comes up with is these police pay raises. Follow me on this now. Follow me on this. Her CAO just shouted out something. What'd she call it? Police fund? Police resiliency fund?
Yeah.
Let me tell you the story of that, okay? She is right. We used one-time funds to pay for salary gap 1 year, and that was in 2023, and here's why. Because we worked our tails off with the police department, with the firefighters, with other first responders to take care of our folks that were willing to put their life on the line for our community. Absolutely. We worked with the councils, well, the council in this case, and we got a great pay increase for our first responders. We did that every year, by the way, 5 times if you count the pay plan, all right? Because it's deserving. I wish we could have done more. But here's the deal. This is what Monique and them don't tell you, because I don't even know if they know, but they should. They're running our government. The money came from CARES. She's right about that. CARES was even more restrictive than ARPA. CARES, we took she don't even know. We took $10 million from CARES because we didn't need the money in Lafayette. We didn't need the CARES money in Lafayette. You want to know why we didn't need it in Lafayette? Because we kept our economy rolling during COVID. I didn't mask our children like every other rhino and Democrat wanted us to do. I stood up to the governor, and the AG was helpful too. Landry at the time. And I could go on and on and on. But I knew every time we got money in, there was a majority of the city council that wanted to always spend it on like nonprofits, NGOs, programs, wasteful things that don't help the community. And I was even open-minded. I said, guys, y'all bring me a plan where it's self-sustaining, that maybe the community invests one time and then you get a plan where you can, public-private partnership or whatever the model is, that it doesn't put a drain on the taxpayers. But we had to get that passed. We had to fund this pay raise. So years before, when we got this CARES money, so this CARES money comes in, I knew, this was before we even thought about the police pay raises. The city council wanted to waste it. So how could I prevent that from happening? How could I prevent? So we worked with the auditor, we worked with everybody, so we came up with a fund. And I wanted to use as many liberal progressive terms as I possibly could so that the city council would vote for it. So we came up with SARF, Sustainability and Resiliency Fund. And there you go. And it was designated to fund fire and police operations. Now, this pay plan that Monique's talking about came during 2023, but right when the budget process had already taken its legs. It's already started. We couldn't go start the budget process all over. So we all wanted to get it done, to include the councils. I can't do this by myself. And we worked together and we said, all right, y'all remember that SARF fund 2 or 3 years ago that we have somehow managed to save for the people of Lafayette? I'm willing. I'll make a commitment to you if you make a commitment to me. You remember this, somebody? Mm-hmm. I said, look, that's fine. We do zero. I'm a conservative. We do zero-based budgeting. Every budget's new to me. That's the only way you balance it, in my opinion. So I said, look, we can use the gap to fund these pay raises this year only, with the commitment that we're going to take the next 12 months and we're going to figure out how to pay for that. And and I wanted to replenish the fund, and my requirement was you must replenish the SARF fund with general fund dollars.
And you said that on the record, by the
way.
way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, media, come on, do a little homework. Like, you're lazy. This is all public record. Go pull the archives. You can do public records requests. You can see them. You don't even need a PRR for that. So we said all that. So now Monique's saying that's the reason why. We're going to continue this. That's a joke. I mean, the arrogance. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Beal and Abear, your hometown lawyers. Give those guys a buzz, man. Great, great, great. Appreciate the support, fellas and ladies, and appreciate what you do for our community as well. And I appreciate our listeners. All right, let's see here. I'm seeing the chats over there. We're on rumble.com, by the way, and you can app chat us on the rumble.com. Let's see. I don't have my contacts here.
Sister Judith says, MAGA, make Acadiana great again. Vote Josh Guillory, exposer of corruption. Have a good afternoon, everyone.
Who is that?
Sister Judith.
Sister Judith. Well, you are too kind, Sister Judith. Thank you.
We got a couple of other chats.
Go ahead.
Kill Switch says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Josh, the mayor president is obviously bought and paid for.
Clearly.
And then he starts talking about Nancy. He says he wants people to investigate Nancy Pelosi. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Dwayne in Lafayette says even the libs on Reddit are hiding from this story.
Jeez.
And Piku and Scott, he has a question for you. We'll get you some information, Piku. We'll get in touch with you.
Oh, good. Yeah, we love that. We love that. Want to connect, want to help. All right, let's. So we're breaking down so Mayor President Monique Blanco Boulay was in the studios earlier today on KPEL. We're just exposing lies. Let's continue.
You wait until that money is out, and then it hits the budget. I mean,
can we
sure,
rewind
we knew
that?
it was coming. I think everybody, and then it hits the budget.
Rewind
You
all the way
wait
when
until the
basically
money
when you
to pay
know
for it
it.
with the grant. So
Looking at something I would have is this I think this you're now a couple budgets in. This wasn't something that you guys kind of saw coming like in a previous budget. Maybe we need to start looking at it now. Or
well, you don't budget. We have
Fair.
the money to pay for it with the grant. So
Oh.
you're not going to budget it there.
Yeah.
Pause. It became a fund. It's in your budget. It's like it's no longer grant dollars. It's been in the budget for 6 years. It's a fund, and we called it SARF. And it's kind of funny how we got there. If you think about it, the only way I could get it passed and prevent some of the city council members from wasting your money was to call it the most liberal thing I could call it, and that was SARF, Sustainability and Resiliency Fund. And it had an acronym, so big government people like acronyms. I mean, it was brilliantly done. We saved money. We didn't have to waste it, and it got passed.
Forgive me, I'm a little slow. But so she knew about this issue in 23, right? When she took office. Or when she won election.
She took the talking points, but it was ARPA back then.
But
Go ahead.
My thing is like, well, you got to wait until it runs out. But you don't have to wait until it runs out to figure out how to fund it. I mean, come on. You're saying, oh, you had 2 years to figure this out. And you're saying, oh, now that the money's run out, we got to figure out what to do. Come on, man. You got to be smarter than that.
Now, let me tell you again, what we're talking about is SARF. That's a fund in the Lafayette Consolidated Government. It was originally funded through CARES, which is, it's a reimbursement, not necessarily a grant, but you can call it a grant. In bureaucrat world, it's a grant, whatever, grant.
Taxpayer money from the feds.
Thank you, exactly. So instead of wasting it, we just created a fund, and it was designed for firefighters and police. There you go. And we agreed in the budget cycle one time we would be okay with using SARF to fund the gap because we had just done a pay raise with the commitment on the record, by the way, that we as a government, had I been reelected, would have reimbursed 101 into this fund. I don't know that fund number. 101's the city general fund, Monique. And and we would replenish it, and you'd have to figure it out. Keep going.
you wait until that money is out, and then
And that fund balance, that fund was $10 million. $10 million. That's going to be very important. The pay raise gap, the advocate, Monique's ally, the advocate said the pay raise gap was $2 million. I want you to remember that. $2 million. That's what the advocate said in 2023. Let's see the current. The current, they're not agreeing. So the current said that the pay raise gap was $3.2 million. That's going to be important. Now, she's alleging that because of this one federal grant years ago, that's the only reason why the Guillory administration was able to do all those projects and balance the budget and the Guillory administration, because of this one fund, is the reason why why she can't get her finances in order. This one fund. The one fund was $10 million. The budget is $707 million from when I was in office. Now it's $803 million thanks to that rhino. Well, the revenue's good, but the wasteful spending is not. All right. So $10 million out of $803 million. That's not enough to float your government, Monique and CFO.
And you had a balanced budget before we even got the ARPA fight. We had a budget in place.
Yes.
ARPA was additional. It was extra. It was budgeted separately. It was budgeted differently in a different process. It had nothing to do with the regular budget.
So Claire Taylor,
it did.
Leslie Turk's about to drop an article in the legislative order and regurgitate the same old talking points to cover for Monique's wasteful spending. We know all this. It's such a Democrat Blanco Mafia playbook, man.
Hey, but you're going to be in The Advocate tomorrow.
I am.
What, didn't you do an interview?
Oh, yeah. No, we'll see if they play any of it or write any of it. Hey, we'll continue this talk. We'll continue bringing truth here in the next hour. All right, let's see here, guys. Take a little break. Enjoy the break. We'll be right back. Hour number 2, we're going to talk budget. We're going to talk numbers where the mayor president blatantly lied to you, and so did her CAO, or she may not know. I don't think she knows. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful host still in studio with me, my main man, Jamie Angel.
Making some mess, of course.
Goodness.
Good trouble.
Good. Yes, good trouble. Good trouble. Hey, we're broadcasting live from Bill and Abear Studios right here in Lafayette. Bill and Abear, your hometown lawyers. You got questions, give those guys a call.
Tony Dashery's tuning in on the road, doing the door dashing, and writes in, I feel like everybody's ears perk up when Jamie gets hot on air. Keep him in line, Jamie. I'm gonna! God dang it. Tomfoolery, I tell you.
All right, we're breaking down a clip from earlier from Lafayette Live with Mayor President Monique Blanco-Boulay. Let's go.
Hits the budget.
Oh, okay.
I mean, sure, we knew it was coming. I think everybody knew it was coming in 23. They just didn't do anything about it.
Pause. You want to take this one?
Mayor President, you are the executive of the government.
Yeah.
You are the person who proposes the budget. You are the person who should have done something about it.
Twice.
I mean, we had commitments from the council when we were in office.
Yeah.
We can only do so much.
Yeah,
you won.
We weren't reelected. You should have upheld the commitment to refund to reestablish the fund. Just like a Democrat, blame the Republican before him on all your mistakes. But guys, remember, they're making it out to be like we've spent hundreds of millions of dollars on all these recurring costs that we got from one-time money. They're talking about one fund. Now, they were talking about ARPA, but we exposed them on that. They were blatantly lying. And by the way, page 49, right here, here's Zoom, rumble.com, Rumble, here you go. Page 49 of the budget, the proposed budget, go to that top sentence. That's what your CFO wrote. It's all about ARPA. Oh, until we exposed that it wasn't ARPA. Now it's CARES. And not even CARES, it's we used one-time money to fund pay raises. Well, we just told you what it was. It was one fund. The fund was $10 million. We only used 2 to 3.2 million. I don't recall, so I had to look it up. The current said 3.2, which means it's probably 1.6. But the advocate says 2 million. I thought they were sisters. Anyway, so
I think they might have broke up.
But we're talking about $3 million in a budget of 803. She's making it out to sound like we have spent hundreds of millions or tens of millions on this one-time money we got on recurring expenses. She is talking about one fund now. She was talking about ARPA, which is also so debunked. All right, keep going.
Okay. What, as far as you find that there's this deficit, what are some of the things that you had to move around to make, again, the jigsaw puzzle work?
Sure. And just to be clear, Joe, so while we started with that in the initial proposal, so the process is you start with a base budget, right? And the base kind of grows year over year, depending on how revenues fall out, and then what gets included in the base. And one of the things that we may change up next year is how we develop that base budget. And instead of going year over year, just increasing all of these accounts, looking at what is reoccurring versus what is not reoccurring. Reoccurring is salaries, retirement, things that you know.
Okay.
What?
You're just now starting that? So you're going to do it next year?
No, she's not going to do it next. She may not look.
No, she may not. She said, we may.
I don't know what she just said.
What did you just ramble about? Did she Kamala Harris? Do we have Kamala Harris as the CAO?
And through our dreams, we can make dreams thrive.
Did anybody understand that gibberish? She's trying to walk circles like there's some kind of process. We don't care about your internal process, just like no one cared about mine. They just care about results. You are spending $100 million more a year than we did. You have, by the end of this budget, will have spent $150 million more than we did in 4 years. Come on. And you hadn't even been the mayor president for 2 years. Man, they are arrogant. Like they know, like they feel like they can lie to us and just straight up, no one's going to call them out on. Because here's the deal. No one ever does. And that's not necessarily anybody's fault. Jamie and I were in Lafayette's consolidated government. We know where to point you. We know where to tell you to go look. Don't worry about what we're saying.
We got no reason to deceive you.
You go find out. I'm a lawyer. I try not to say things I don't know. Try not to. I have. I've misspoken for sure. But anyway, all right, let's keep going.
is reoccurring versus what is not reoccurring.
Oh, Lord.
Reoccurring is salaries, retirement, things that you know that you're going to expend funds on. And then
Does she know that? Because they increased expense. They increased salaries. They $93,000 for a part-time in the mayor president's office, political appointment, paying that Democrat state rep to be her representative throughout the parish. That's
Never seen him.
Yeah, well, you will if you go to some elites in the north side.
Well, she created like 3 or 4.
Not the regular folks in the north side. The folks over there are great, wonderful human beings. But the elites that are selling you a bag of goods, they're the ones that have been keeping down all these years. They're friends with Monique. Go ahead.
non-reoccurring could be like contractual services or different trainings and whatnot. So we may reevaluate a little bit of our process next year. And this is
You do it this year?
I mean,
You should reevaluate your
God.
process constantly. You should always
every day,
evaluate.
every day. The budget is every day.
Let's wait till the 3rd year.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's wait to
Just like a Democrat.
let's just wait.
Keep going.
this is, been the standard way of budgeting for years. So
Yeah.
it's
Pause.
not like
No, it hasn't. And if you would have taken the time to listen during transition when we gave you all the information, you will know very clearly that the Guillory administration did what's called, Monique, zero-based budgeting. That means we literally started off zero. Every budget was a new budget to us. There was no rubber stamping. Yes, some same expenses rolled over, but they had to justify it. And do you know the reason why our government didn't grow? It grew a little, but it didn't grow nearly what this is. But every time we had a surplus, we just built things. That's what the folks want. They want their roads. They want drainage to be fixed. They don't want to worry about that kind of stuff. And there's so much drainage work to be done. There was so much drainage work still to be done, even after all that stuff we did. All right, keep going.
we're coming in and, we inherited this process. And so we may reevaluate.
The process of figuring out how to spend money.
Yeah, you did not inherit that one. And it's
Take that
taken you
next year.
3 years. Wow.
So when we first looked at the base budget, it was a $5 million deficit in the general fund.
From your own budget.
You did the budget. This is your budget.
How do you blame your 2nd-year budget deficit on the previous administration?
That is wild. And if you're trying now, if she misspoke and she's trying to say they inherited a $5 million deficit, that is incorrect. First of all, it wasn't budgeted. You did not budget one. Second of all, Monique, please pay attention. CAO actually, now put the lying politician out. CAO, it is embarrassing. CAO, man, we only lived out 2 months of our budget. You had 10 of the 12 months of budgeted that we gave you. We gave you a budget that was balanced. We gave you a budget that was heavy on infrastructure, lean on salaries. We gave you a conservative budget. But if you really, really believe that you had a $5 million deficit, one, do something about it. You didn't. Two, because it's a lie. But two, it's your deficit. There's 12 months in a year. When we got out, we were only in 2 months of the budget. Most things don't kick off till January, February anyway, and that's if you start it in October, which we tried to do every year. All of that budget, all of my last budget was Monique's first budget. All of my first budget was Joel's last budget. We did some amendments to Joel's last budget, not blaming him. It wasn't him. He's not the one that put in the wasteful spending. He wasn't, not at the end, not what I'm talking about. So these are all things you will never know because the media will never tell you. The Current will never tell you the truth. The Current has an angle. The Current has about 1 million reasons to write well of Monique Blanco-Boulay and probably 1 million reasons why they write bad about me.
And your last budget projected a surplus over
Yeah.
the next 5 years. It
Yeah.
projected the general funds of both parish and city to grow
Like for
over
real.
the next several years.
Exactly. Like this is
Girlish.
guys, this is so junior high. Like anybody can look at the budget. Just ask yourself while we take a little break. Why do you think that Monique Blanco-Boulay and her administration, why do you think that they're so emboldened to lie to us like this? Like, I'm giving you the tape and we're giving you facts and showing you where to look at it. I don't know. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Bringing truth. Bringing some truth. Just bring a little truth. Bring a little truth. We're broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear studios here in Lafayette, your hometown lawyers, Beal and Abear. Love those guys. Also broadcasting live on Rumble, rumble.com. Let's see here. I don't know what that last one says, but we got to get to this, though. Let's go.
All right. Just quick recap. You got a CAO that basically doesn't know how to budget.
No.
And you have a CFO.
Well, she just showed you she doesn't. Like we just played her own words. Like you, just saying. Go ahead.
Then you have a CFO who actually used to work for the auditor.
Whoa!
Who?
Wait! Whoa! What's her name?
Karen
Fano,
Fano.
our CFO. Okay, $206,000 salary, a lot of perks, all the good things. A reasonable salary, but we expect you to tell the truth. All right.
She used to audit local governments.
So she was boy. There's so many politics in that, but I'm gonna be quiet because you had another point. Go ahead.
Oh, that was my.
No, she used to audit LCG. I think you were about to say something about.
She used to audit local governments. I'm pretty sure LCG fell within that scope. So she ought to be intimately familiar with the insides and outs of this budget.
You should know where the ARPA dollars went and not write this. Due to transition from use of one-time ARPA dollars back to normalized funding levels and funding sources. Wow, you are a liar. You are lying in that statement. And you still haven't amended your statement. They're so arrogant down the street, they think we're all stupid. They think you are stupid, and they think we are stupid. We are all stupid to them.
Shall we continue?
Yes.
101. So, of course, we go through a process of looking at our revenues, and we also go through a process of looking at our expenses. And, I mentioned a little bit earlier that we are looking at operations and efficiencies, right? One of the things we considered in, I guess, the way for that $5 million deficit is looking at our vehicle maintenance, looking at those things that hit that general fund and asking these questions about how can we improve our efficiencies there. So one of the things was vehicle maintenance, transit services, different things like that that hit our general fund.
You're adding expenditures to transit. That's a loser.
So they didn't have enough money to do all the crap they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So they budgeted a deficit for themselves.
Yes.
And then blamed it on the other guy.
They had $52 million last year than we did and still ran a $5 million deficit and are calling it our deficit. And even if it was the first, which it wasn't, but the first budget 10 out of the 12 months, or Monique, do something. So now you're going on 3 budgets and you haven't done anything except waste money. And pay your partners.
Well, they did admit to watching the budget go the direction it's going because
it's
of what they're doing.
Budget.
Y'all watching it.
Some of those divisions and or departments not necessarily receive some cuts. We just didn't budget the entire revenue that they received last year.
Oh, big fiscal responsible.
Again, it's all in an effort to create these types of efficiencies that we're looking for within the government.
$100 million more than we did.
So efficient.
So efficient. We have hey, Brown Park could have been funded. Hey, Johnson Street, your little pet baby could have been funded. Bertrand. Or how about this? I-10 sucks right now in Lafayette. Do you know that we had it budgeted to do a major beautification project? Everybody should love that on I-10. It was very simple, but it was pretty, and it had little, just beautification efforts, natural grass, stuff like that we didn't have to just see that. We're the 4th largest city in the state. And we had a thriving economy, all the things. Yeah, we're the 4th largest city.
Yeah.
What?
No, good.
Okay.
Hey, but also you worked with the private sector to try to help offset that funding, not, spending $17 million to try to welcome people to...
No, we had budgeted $3 million in the private sector, and that covered a large part of I-10. And the private sector and other entities were pitching in because, coalition, teamwork.
Economic driver.
Yeah. All the buzzwords we just rattled out from the left. Go ahead.
Let me add this. We have a new ERP system. So when I came into office...
Stop. Jamie, when did we get the ERP system?
Well, we paid for it during, your administration.
We brought the ERP system. She did not bring the ERP system. They should have been using the ERP by now. What the hell's wrong with them? Keep going.
It's taking a long time.
I mean, golly.
It was done manually. And you have...
Okay.
You get this one.
First of all,
She's just said that tell them folks what she just said.
Well, we eliminated all the abacuses from the budget, so we had to stop doing the budget manually, like she's saying. We didn't do the budget manually. Are you kidding me? What is she talking about?
Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they think maybe they think they're in Mama's administration, in the 90s or whenever it was, early 2000. Maybe they are writing. Guys, y'all go tell them that we have an ERP.
Oh, it gets better.
Go tell them we have digital stuff over there. Golly, we need help.
have to remember, I don't know how many different funds we have. It is a very complex monster budget. And so we implemented the half of the ERP in January. So for the first time, we actually are able to pull reports in a day.
The first time ever they can pull budget reports.
She's lying. I would ask my CFO for budget reports all the time. He would run queries. I'd ask him very specific questions, different hypotheticals. They probably hated when I walked down that hall because I would ask them for so many reports and they got them to me like that. And did you know they used a computer? Monique, did you know that? Did you know we have computers and the internet? That's your boy Al Gore. We know who you voted for. I mean, come on. She's a Blanco. She's a Democrat.
She probably doesn't know how to use a computer.
And I'm telling you,
seriously.
All of our folks listening, I'm not talking about you if you're a Democrat. There's a difference, and you know what I'm talking about. There's a difference between a Blanco Democrat and your everyday Democrat. There's a difference between a Blanco and humans. But go ahead.
They are way different.
Yep. Keep going.
Different way. Of course, we still are building out the HR segment, but
Who cares?
having an accounting system where you can pull reports that don't have to be assembled.
So now it's the accounting system's
I know,
fault.
bud.
Their budget was jacked up in the previous years because they had a
golly.
slow accounting. So what are you saying?
Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing.
That's where we were when we came into office.
No, you weren't.
Okay, so you left them a busted ERP system. So that's why.
And they're just now.
That's why they overspent by 200
it's
million.
not, guys. It's not her fault.
We didn't know. We couldn't see it, and we couldn't get the report.
She accidentally put the city hall renovation in.
Oh, oops.
Oh, we got something Monday we're going to talk about that y'all really
But
gonna
that
like.
alone allows us to make much higher level decisions and
Just keep going on. She's a puppet. She don't
see
make
what's
decisions.
happening throughout the government in a much more effective manner.
Lafayette checkbook.
Oh, did they get rid of that? Someone told me they got rid of that.
No, I think it's still there, but I don't.
Yeah, we
they don't use
brought
it.
open checkbook. That means you saw every single check that the government wrote. I mean,
So we could show the public
Yeah.
all of our expenses, but you can't look at it yourself?
yeah,
You couldn't.
everything was paper, even though we put it all on. It just so silly.
How was she making high-level decisions before?
Yeah, really.
It's hard to imagine.
Oh, it is.
We had runners running stacks
Oh.
of paper.
You take it.
Okay, it's called a mail. It's called a mailroom, and yes, you have inter-office correspondence. And look, if you want to stop doing that, then change the law so you can not.
Yeah.
It's not required to use an actual signature.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
you can use digital signatures.
But listen, the law, the rules, that doesn't apply to a Blanco. Not in Louisiana, not today. Not when you got the Current and the Advocate and other local outlets that are her other division of her communications. I mean, it's crazy. All right, guys, we get back. We're going to let's keep talking some truth. All right. show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're just bringing truth today. Mayor President was on the KPL airwaves earlier today. Let's keep playing her clip.
Every day from department to department for signatures.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like a 1980s thing at this point in time, and it was real until January. And so
Oh, really?
those kinds of efficiencies not only save us money, but they help us think better, and they help
us think better.
I could spend 2 hours on her other statement about starting it in January. It's just not worth it. But keep going.
help us make better decisions.
How about balancing the
There's a
budget? How
lot
about
of,
stop wasting $100 million? Can you decide that?
She's relying upon a lot of systems to help her make decisions.
Yeah, well, she can't make a decision.
A lot of pieces in this, but just strictly from an accounting perspective, I think we're,
Stop.
by next
I think the next Lafayette Live, everybody, let's play a game. Let's count how many words don't mean something that comes out of Monique's mouth. Let's just see. Like the highest score wins. Like, how many wasted words can you blab about before you try to make somewhat of a point? I'm still waiting.
The Kamala playbook.
Like, blah, 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 and then there's the city hall, blah, 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 there's a park, blah, 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 our budget, blah, ERP, blah, blah, January. Okay.
year, once that HR piece is put into place, and we really can see the whole picture.
I mean,
so what?
You want to take it? I mean,
I'm trying. What does HR have to do with the? What are you talking about?
Our decision making is getting better and better.
oh my God.
I beg to differ.
No, you had $52 million last year and you didn't have anything to show. It's getting worse. This year you have another 50-something million. That's $100 million more in recurring. Like, where are you deficit spending?
It's like Christmas.
Jeez.
And one of the other things, Joe, that I wanted to comment on. So our CFO, Karen Fontenot, she's been
Karen Fontenot just got confirmation worked for Burton Coulter. Burton Coulter is the local auditor appointed by the legislative auditor, which is about to drop a memo through Leslie Turk saying the same thing about the spoil banks that was said 3 years ago and debunked then and debunked now. But anyway, go check out Leslie.
So if she worked for the auditor, and I'm looking at the audit that just came out this year for LCG.
As the person described it to me, it was the fox watching the hen house.
How is it that they had repeat findings from previous, like,
yeah.
why didn't you were an auditor, you should know how to clear that up.
Guys, this is all orchestrated. Burton Coulter and them are political. They're political, but they're the appointed auditors, but they are so political, and they do not like the policies of anybody that wants to keep the family together in consolidation, okay? It's just the facts. It's not a big deal. I mean, what is a big deal when you have this? But this whole thing is not by accident. Karen Fontenot worked for him. Karen Fontenot was in the process of all those political hit jobs. Like, this is a joke. We deserve a lot more. Go ahead.
LCG for the last 10-some years, as well as a lot of other municipalities in and around this parish. And she's done a really good job at what I'll call conservative budgeting, right?
Let me rewind that.
On this parish. And she's done a really good job at what I'll call conservative budgeting, right? Around the parish. And she's done a really good job at what I'll call conservative budgeting, right?
No, right.
100 million more can't even. How many positions? 30-something positions.
36.
But she opened. That's not correct. Jeff Daly's wrong on that too. But anyway, even if it is, that's 30-something more you didn't need. And if it is 30-something, where's the other 100 million?
But weren't they crying because they had so many open, unfilled positions? Like,
yes,
then why are you adding more?
They're talking out of because Jeff Daly doesn't know facts, and he puts them together, and that's what everybody's running with. But go ahead.
She estimates our revenues lower than what we sometimes want to because, we know that a growth is expected in our parish.
Mm-hmm.
And then in some areas, she overestimates our expenses.
Yeah, okay. So then you should be showing even more of a surplus at the end of each year. But yet you did not. You didn't do it after the budget that you had 10 out of 12 months. And then on top of that, you spent $52 million that you didn't have the previous year on what? On what? On new roads?
Have you ever overestimated your expenses?
You
determine what your expenses are and you cut it off there.
Yeah, I hated that. I always told the CFO and everybody, just be accurate. You can do a budget amendment. That's okay. If things change, the economy takes COVID hits or whatever, you can be flexible. But stop. At the time 2020 to 2023. You could use the models that you have available to you to give accurate information.
And overestimating your expenses, that's called deficit budgeting. That's what you're doing.
To make sure we are, like uninsured losses, for example, that's one that hits the budget quite frequently. And in the past, I think it's been underestimated in terms of what we're going to realize in the budget. So we tried to, budget what is actually we believe is actually. Let
me say that different. They're spending a lot more money in uninsured, all that stuff, paying their partners on the plaintiff side, baby. Who you think put her in? Anyway.
And those uninsured losses can be critical sometimes. So all of this funding came out of post, COVID, right? Post-COVID era, there was a huge stimulus bill in the federal government.
All right, to be clear, there was some stuff that was cut out, but Joe went to commercial break and said some more introductory stuff. I just clipped it there. I don't want y'all freaking out thinking I'm editing the clip.
A lot of it was allocated to local municipalities for their, I guess, recovery efforts, right? Most of us saw significant dips in our budgets in terms of revenues because of
Pause.
The economy.
Nope, we did not. Hell no, we did not. We saw record sales revenue in Lafayette Parish, and it wasn't by accident. When all these other communities were bowing down to John Bell Edwards and his little bully-ass threats, we said no. We believe in our people. We believe in our doctors. We believe in our community way more than the government. And our economy roared. All 6 municipalities as a team decided we were going to open our parish. That was a great decision, and she is wrong on what she just said.
Will and Cecilia says, Kamala Blanco, the word salad Cajun queen. What?
ARPA, the $84 million that we talked about was an automatic allocation that we received, the city parish government received.
Pause. Please, CAO, please learn the budget. The city, Lafayette Consolidated Government actually did not receive ARPA. Please learn the budget, please, before you start preaching on it. The city is one of the rare occasions where the city of Lafayette received money and the parish of Lafayette received money. Please, Mayor President, please, CAO, learn the budget. That's why you have 2 funds instead of 1. You don't have a joint fund. You have the city ARPA funds, parish ARPA funds, and everybody, all of us can go look, 650, 651. Those are the funds, public funds. Go look what it's been spent on.
For, COVID recovery. But aside from that, there was a police and fire resiliency fund through the CARES Act
it wasn't through the CARES Act. It was not through the CARES Act. She's wrong. And it wasn't called, that fund she just said doesn't exist. It's the SARF fund we just told you about. And remember, I had to get kind of cute on the name so the liberal council members would vote for it. Yeah, there you go.
City parish government applied for. Kudos to our comptroller for finding those funds and actually making the application for police and fire resiliency.
She's lying to you.
I don't even know what she's
so one of the eligible
she don't know what she's
expenses
talking
out
about.
of that
Now they're taking
was
credit.
Police and fire salaries. And that was to help alleviate
Okay, she just said about,
burden
rewind that.
Was created after And so one of the eligible expenses out of that was police and fire salaries. And that was to help alleviate some of the burden that, was created post-COVID.
Freeze.
Okay.
That's wrong. We had no burden after COVID. We never had a burden. That's why we had a surplus in the care where New Orleans and Baton Rouge and all them people were using that CARES money to pay payroll and to float their local government while they all got a break and sat on the couch and did nothing. We were working and we had our economy working. We didn't even need it. So we saved it. We put it here. We put it there. We used it when we need it. We were, it's no brainer. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
She justifying what we did now?
Yeah, really.
After she just, I don't know.
No, she doesn't know.
So just again, to clarify, one-time monies, we said ARPA, or was it ARPA or ARPA Light? Because I've heard 2 different phrasings on it.
Congress made one funding application, and what they do, they will assign, and I don't remember what it was. I'm sure it was billions after COVID, and then they will send it to one of the agencies. Usually Treasury will take it and then break down the function. So it was all in that same pot of money. There was a function for ARPA, which was an automatic allocation to the parishes, and then there was a function for fire and police. Out of the
What?
Does anybody understand what the heck I'm telling you, whoever was keeping count of all the pointless words and fluff that doesn't mean anything, you would have won this round. She's about to say there's a component of it that could be used for police and fire. Yes, that's what we did. And it's a small portion. They're saying what they're trying to make you believe is that we took these hundreds of millions, tens of millions of dollars of CARES Act and was using that to float the government. That is a blatant lie. That is a blatant lie. The fund they're talking about, they can't even get the fund name right. It's their budget. But the fund, SARF, S-A-R-F, Sustainability and Resiliency Fund, all right, it was only $10 million. That's it. The pay raises they're talking about, this is from their people, the current $3.2 million. It wasn't even the full $10 million. So so Monique and her CFO and her CAO is wanting you to believe that $3.2 million 4 years ago was floating the entire government since 2022. That's what they're trying to sell you. $3.2 million. Their buddies at the Advocate said it was only $2 million. I'm going to the higher amount.
They're blaming their spending problem on someone
on
else.
The Republican before him,
It's
just like Joe Biden and just like Barack Obama. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Hebert studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Beal and Hebert, hometown lawyers. Absolutely. All righty. Hey, guys on the phone, man, thank y'all so much for being on hold. I know a lot of people have been on hold, so we got one more thing to do, but we're going to knock out a few little phone calls first. Go ahead, Big Chris in the hizzy. What's up, buddy?
Well, I believe she's Democrat and she's not too smart. But I'm being redundant here. Look, for her to pick a fight with you, who has all the intricacies of the job at his fingertips, she's not too smart. Because you can call when she's talking. I heard her this morning too, and I didn't know what she was saying. I think when she said, "Well, I was inherited this," I figured, yeah, that's bull crap.
Yeah.
But most people, if not all of us, that aren't in the politics and do the job, we don't know what's going on. We don't understand it. But she picked a fight with the worst possible person, the one who knows all the seats and has a platform on the most popular radio station in Lafayette. Is she nuts? Or just stupid? I don't know.
I think it's ego and just not really. I don't want to. I'm not calling her dumb. I just don't think she knows what she's doing. And
it's not a good move on her part.
Yeah, and look.
If you don't know what you're doing, you're stupid.
Yeah, but Big Chris, when you have an ego, that's what really makes it bad. Like, she doesn't think she really thinks that she can say whatever she wants and no one's going to know. Because here's the deal. She won an election on that. I mean, she took down a sitting mayor president on lies and went around and lied for about a year and a half to our community. So, and the media never called her out on it. She went through a whole budget cycle. The media never called her out on it. Same thing here.
That's what you do is so important. You like the Rush Limbaugh of Lafayette. You call them out. That's why they can't compete in talk radio, because most of they can't defend lines.
That's exactly right.
Conservative talk radio, they just go out of truth. You don't have to remember the truth. It's the truth. So you're
Big Chris, we got to run. We're out of time, man. Big Chris.
But Big Chris, you're making some good points. I wish we had more time. Let's go to the next call. Hey, thanks, Big Chris. I love it when all of our callers call. Renee, what you got, Renee? Bring the heat, baby.
Hey, I know the media lies, but the same thing keeps happening. These stupid people keep electing these ate-up politicians, and I'm just wondering, maybe Lafayette's too small, but could the big high-performance pay-the-taxes side of Lafayette just divorce itself from the dump side of Lafayette, like Baton Rouge?
Oh, yeah, like Baton Rouge. Yay, they did do that.
Hey.
They did do that. Man, Renee, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Look, what I'm about to say, I genuinely mean what I'm about to say. I grew up in a community where there was a hood, all right? A couple of them, actually. Yeah, you saw it. I brought you to it. We don't have a hood in Lafayette. I know you may think you do. We don't. And I really believe that we don't have a bad side if we put the proper infrastructure investments. We had that in the north side. She comes in there, takes their vote, but then cancels projects just because my name was on it. That's so arrogant. It's so wrong. Go ahead, Chad. What you got, buddy?
Hey, Josh, you're a great show as always. Love
Thanks,
it when
bud.
you call Monique Blanco out. Keep calling her out. Keep putting her on the spot. Just be careful, though. Remember, she has eyes and ears, too.
Yeah.
Just try to snap back at you.
Hey, brother, I appreciate, man. And Chad, thanks for those cookies the other day, man. I appreciate that.
Different Chad.
Oh, different Chad?
Different Chad.
Oh my, he sounded just like him. Okay.
Hey, we got our friends.
All right, let's go to the. I want to finish this clip. We're going 26 seconds.
And then there was a function for fired police out of the same pot of money. Really splitting hairs, but yeah, that's the particular money used for the increases that you asked me about came out of that CARES Act.
Pause. Finally, we have the answer after 3 years of Monique Blanco Boulay saying the Guillory administration, the only reason why we had all that success, the only reason why we were able to balance the budget, the only reason why we were able to pave all these roads and do all these drainage works, and the reason why we were able to give pay raises and all these things was because of federal dollars. We kept asking, what federal dollars? You're lying. You are lying. And she never would say it. Today, finally, we now know. She thinks we use CARES. And no, she doesn't think that. She knows she's lying. And then she breaks it down. The current said the amount, that the money she's talking about, even the current can't lie on this one. $3.2 million. So she's saying that $3.2 million carried this whole $3.2 million from 2022. That's what she's talking about, guys. Monique Blanco Boulay wants you to believe that $3.2 million from 2022 is the reason why we were able to float the government for 3 years now, and the reason why we had all the things we had. She done got called out. Like, that is bad. Like, this is public information, man. Do they think no one's going to look?
Okay.
And one-time money. So when we say ARPA-like,
All
it's
of it,
the fact that it was one-time money.
So that phrasing was just, this is one-time money from this specific point in history.
That's the end.
I know, in his administration is what he's about to say. Can y'all get where do you even go with that? Do they think that? Do they know the budget is public? Do they know people can look at it?
I don't know. Hey, y'all come back tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, we had such a blast. Thank you so much. Look, we'll keep bringing up truth when lies are out there. I mean, it's, why not? We live here. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be